The story of how have Real Madrid defied all odds once again and won this magnificent Champions League title starts at the end of the 2022 and 2023 season. At the moment, Ballon d'Or, Karim Benzema was set to leave the Bernabeu to go to Arabia. Benzema had scored 26 goals and given 4 assists that season, and it's true he was on decline, but still could perform at a good level. In the market, there were 2 options for the number 9 Harry Kane, who would leave Tottenham for €100 million, and Kylian Mbappe, the obsession of Florentino Perez. Kylian wasn't really an option, but talks with him and negotiations with PSG were on the table. At one point, Kylian didn't travel to Japan with PSG and trained with the discards due to the tense situation, but it didn't look like the transfer was going to go through. So for the first time in history, Real Madrid, the number 9 shirt was going to be empty. The only player that was signed was Joselu, a serviceable striker that was relegated to the 2nd division. Despite this huge problem with the number 9, this was the least of the difficulties when the big problems of this season started. The 10th of August, even before the first league match, Courtois, one of the most important players and starting goalkeeper, got injured. He torn his ankle and would be out for 8 months. This on its own was reason to lower the expectations of the season. Just only 3 days later, disaster struck again. Now, Militao, the first choice centre-back, was also injured with an ACL. He would be out for also around 7 to 8 months now. The season looked much worse. Not long after a new injury for the start man Vinicius Jr., he would only be out for a month this time. But not long after his first injury, he got another one of 1.5 months. This was another sign of how difficult the season was going to be. But in December, when the schedule starts to look crowned and the important matches start to come, disaster once again. This time Alaba, the second choice centre-back, was the one injured. He is still out at the moment. This was the lineup for the title decider against Girona, where Real Madrid couldn't line up any natural centre-back and still managed to score 4 against the league leaders at the moment. Also in this match, disaster struck again with Bellingham's 1-month injury. The other part of the difficulty of this CLL run was the quality of the opponents faced. In the quarterfinals, they were drawn against Manchester City. More in depth in this video. The first leg that was played at the Bernabeu was Madrid's only chance to get a win and to try to resist at the Etihad. Despite having a good game, Real only managed a draw. This match was marked by the terrible display of both goalkeepers and the incredible goals of Manchester City. The second leg at the Etihad was the game of the season for Real Madrid. They managed to score early and they locked down on defense. They weathered a storm thrown by Manchester City that dominated the game but couldn't do significant damage. And then, in a heroical turn of events, they managed to edge it on penalties. The semi-finals weren't easy either. Real Madrid faced a Bayern that, despite not being at their best, are still Bayern Munich. The first leg was away, and this was a very even match with good displays of both teams. They managed a draw that would leave everything open for the second leg. The second leg was an agony for Real Madrid. Vinicius was playing a magnificent game, but couldn't find the back of the net. And around the 70th minute, an amazing chance was converted by Alphonso Davies. Luckily, the starman was Joselu, who managed to score 2 goals in 3 minutes to send Madrid to the final. The final was against Dortmund, at first sight, a lesser opposition, but they had managed to go in a very remarkable run and were deservedly in the final. The match was very interesting. Dortmund planned to have an explosive and overwhelming first half, so they could try for a lead and then hold on to it. Similar plan that against PSG. This nearly worked as Real Madrid struggled a lot to containing Adame and Sancho. But when the first half was over, the score was 0-0, and then Real Madrid started dominating and managed to score 2 goals to win them the title. This title was the 15th for Real Madrid, also the 6th in 10 years, feat that will probably never be improved. And some players like Modric, Kroos, Carvajal and Nacho became the players with the most Champions Leagues in history, equaling Paco Gento.